He commanded the largest empire the world had ever seen, 40 million subjects, armies that stretched across 3 continents, wealth beyond imagination. And every morning, at dawn, before the palace woke, he sat in the dark, alone, and wrote, not orders, not decrees, words to himself, reminders, warnings, philosophy. This man, who had everything, was at war with himself, every single day. And that war is why we still speak his name 2,000 years later. Born in 121 AD, Marcus Aurelius Antoninus didn't ask to be emperor. He was studying philosophy, reading the Stoics, training his mind. Then fate made him the most powerful man alive. Emperor Hadrian, spotting his rare character, engineered his succession. And for 19 years, Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome. But here is what makes his story different from every other ruler in history. He believed power without virtue was the most dangerous thing in existence. Not poverty, not war, not death. A man with power who had forgotten who he was. So every morning he wrote letters to himself. Corrections, questions, challenges. That private journal became one of the most widely read books in human history. We call it the Meditations. And it was never meant for you. Every morning, Marcus would do something almost no ruler has ever done. He would remind himself how difficult the day would be. Not to frighten himself, but to prepare. He wrote, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. Now pause. That's an emperor writing that about his own citizens, not in bitterness, in preparation. Because a Stoic doesn't pretend the world is easy. A Stoic prepares for the world as it is, so he can meet it as he should be. Marcus didn't hope for easy days. He trained for hard ones. And that is the discipline that made him great. You know what's rare in 2026? Not talent, not intelligence, not opportunity. A man who chooses to prepare for difficulty instead of hoping it won't come. Marcus knew something that took the world 2,000 years to rediscover. The obstacle isn't in your way. The obstacle is the way. During his reign, Marcus faced plagues, famines, border wars, and betrayal by those closest to him. The Antonine Plague swept through Rome, killing 5 million people. His most trusted general, Avidius Cassius, declared himself emperor and raised an army against him. And Marcus? He didn't collapse. He didn't rage. He didn't panic. He wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Think about what that means. Every wall you hit is a teacher. Every failure is a blueprint. Every person who doubts you is fuel. Not because suffering is good, but because how you respond to suffering defines everything about who you become. Marcus lost a son, lost battles, lost allies. And through every loss, he sat in the dark and wrote. Not complaints, not excuses. Philosophy, discipline, the next right action. What are you losing right now? What wall are you standing in front of? The Stoics want you to ask one question. What can I do with this? Here's something no one talks about. Power doesn't corrupt. Power reveals. It removes the constraints that were keeping your true character hidden. If you were selfish before power, you become a tyrant. If you were insecure before power, you become a coward. But if you were disciplined before power, you become Marcus Aurelius. Look at the emperors who surrounded his era. Caligula, Nero, Commodus, his own son. Men who had the same palace, the same armies, the same wealth, who became monsters. Marcus had the same power, the same temptations, and chose differently every single day. The difference wasn't circumstance, it was philosophy, a set of principles so deeply built into his identity that no amount of wealth or power could strip them away. He wrote, confine yourself to the present, not the empire, not the legacy, not the fear of what history would say. The present action, the present choice, the present integrity. The Stoics believed in 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, temperance. Not one of them is about money. Not one of them is about status. Not one of them requires anyone else's permission. They are entirely, completely within your control. And that is the Stoic revolution. In a world addicted to external validation, to likes, to approval, to comparison, the Stoics tell you, your power lies where no one can touch it, in your judgments, in your responses, in your choices. Marcus wrote Meditations not as a philosophy textbook, He wrote it as a daily reckoning with his own failures. He doubted himself, lost his temper, made mistakes, and then he sat down and wrote his way back to who he wanted to be. That is not weakness. That is the highest form of strength any man can demonstrate. You live in 2026. You are not an emperor. You do not command armies. But you face the same war Marcus faced. The war against distraction. The war against comfort. The war against the version of yourself that wants to quit. And you fight that war in the same way he did. In the quiet, in the discipline, in the daily choice to be better than you were yesterday. The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. Start your morning like Marcus. Not with your phone, not with noise, with intention. With the question, what kind of man am I going to be today? That's what Ignis Doctrine is here for. Ancient fire, for modern strength. Subscribe, stay in the fire.